Welcome to another episode of To the Sky because that is our goal. Our goal is to reach the sky. Today I have with me is Charina. Can
Yeah.
you please introduce yourself a little bit to the audience?
Well, I'm Charina. I'm 20 years old, and I'm currently a third year taking creative technologies at AUT. I'm also the DCT rep. Fun fact.
Awesome.
um, I also work part time, so that's another thing. So yeah.
Wonderful. Um, okay. So this is the number one question I always like to ask everyone who's coming to this show. Are you always learning?
Yes.
Mm,
Even
mm.
if it's in the smallest thing, absolutely. Um, yeah, whether it be about myself or other random stuff.
Yeah. Well, okay. So since you're always learning, what is an interesting that you learned today or learned recently?
I would say probably when I was listening in on one of my parents' TV shows
Hmm.
today. It was like a gardening show. I don't know.
Mm.
But they were talking about how, like, I genuinely didn't know this, but they were talking about how, like, the different flowers that bees get their, like, nectar from changes the taste of the honey.
Mm.
And I genuinely had no idea. I thought that it changes because of, I don't know, processes
Mm.
like that they do to the honey. I don't know, but I thought it
Yeah.
was like a factory thing, not from the actual nectar itself.
Yeah. No, I mean that is pretty good. I always like learning new things, and that is something that I think is a pretty interesting nugget of information. I love it. I love it. Um, do you want to talk about a current project that you're working on at the moment through your uni?
Through uni, I was gonna
Or
talk about
okay, sorry, yeah. Or anything in particular. I'm just kind of giving a heads up. No need to be sandboxed by anything. Yeah. So talk about the most recent thing that you're working on.
I think for me, I will talk about something personal that I'm working on.
Cool.
Um, Personally, I am trying to kind of grow my skills and create a website where I can showcase it. Because I don't have my own portfolio, so I might as well make one, especially since I'm graduating. So
Yeah.
I've been experimenting a lot with my art style because I love character designs and concepts. I've been practicing my photography and my typography and trying to practice as much of the Adobe software as I can.
Ah,
So
okay. Yeah.
yeah, that's just my personal project.
Yeah, that's awesome. Hang on, I kind of want to touch on the typography stuff. So, are you trying to create your own font or something?
Actually, sort of, kind of.
Mm.
I normally go with the flow when it comes to my typography. I know that I personally, in terms of my handwriting, I have a very not. It's not very neat. Well,
So you
some
could have been a
people,
doctor. You could have been a doctor in some in your
yeah.
life. Yeah.
Well, I
Sorry to
mean,
all the doctors.
other other people say that my handwriting is pretty neat, but
Mm.
I'm personally, like, for me, it's not like script. It's not what is it called?
Chained or linked? Are you talking about like
Yeah,
linked handwriting?
yeah,
Yeah.
like that's not my handwriting. So I'm
Mm.
trying to practice that. And in terms of creating type like typography art, I thought that I would really enjoy experimenting with that. So I've been doing a lot of that and looking especially at Risa Rodril, who is a big inspiration of mine.
Mm. Oh, that's pretty cool. So, you said you're working on your website. Is it up yet, or is it, have you? They have a name yet? Okay. Let us
No,
know. We'll definitely tweet. We'll try post it out to LinkedIn or to anything. Whom you'd definitely be interested in something like that, right? Yeah.
yeah,
Um.
definitely.
Yeah. Can you talk a little bit more about a project that you have completed recently? Yeah.
Recently,
Or
so
sorry, a project
recently,
you completed that you're super proud of. Sorry, I should stop saying recently. Yeah. A project that you're really
um,
proud of.
I would say currently I haven't reached a proud stage yet because
Mm.
it is still in process, but I will just go off of the first thing, which is recently, because recently we had submitted for studio,
Mm.
which
Mm.
is very different because it was through online learning, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, um, what? me and my group have done is we've created a prototype for a website, which is essentially to become a hub for the DCT students at AUT.
Okay.
Because what we noticed is that because of online learning, or even before that, um, we don't really interact with others outside of our studio space. And because of online learning, we can't even interact with those in our studio space. So we wanted to create something that kind of, I guess, helped the students to be able to have student to student learning without being in the physical uh, room. So we're making a website that trying to help students to get feedback and critique their work and other students' work with those outside of their own personal studio
Ah,
bubble.
so
So
kind of like a peer review, but instead of like other universities, other students from other different faculties.
yeah,
That
basically
is
like that.
that is pretty cool. That is actually pretty wonderful.
Thank
Um,
you.
yeah. No. So you said you submitted this. Is this live somewhere? Is this accessible
Um,
somewhere?
So because of COVID, we've actually like this website, we originally wanted it to be done like by submission, but
Hmm.
because of COVID, we had to scrap and change the idea midway.
Hmm.
Um, so it's still in prototype, and uh, we're still working on it on Adobe XD and still working on the code. So it's not
Yeah.
actually live yet, but
Like,
I do want to push this further for the
yeah.
second semester.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's one of the things that I did while I was at uni was using my time at uni to work with the sorry, using my time at uni to work on one project over a long period of time as opposed to be limited to one semester so you can push it through across multiple semesters.
Mm.
Um, in this project, which one were you working on or which one were you a part of that or you were in charge of the most?
Actually, the idea was mine.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so I was the project leader.
Hmm.
I so we were a team of three, and whereas I was in charge of admin and organizing and the design because I love design. The others were in charge of academic research, of the creative workflows, um, which actually helped us a lot
Yeah.
because and because I take the creative workflows paper myself, I was able to help one of our other team members to create our Gantt charts and keep the flow charts like I don't know up to date, I
Mm,
guess you could say,
mm,
because what we've realized is that you could have a set idea of how your project's going to go, but they normally don't stick to what you've planned. It
yeah.
always changes. So it's good to be able to change things when other life stuff happen, for lack of better phrasing.
One thing I can tell you is that planning for something that is like that let's say that lasts over 12 weeks changes, moves up and down, left, right, life moves on. But it is interesting that you're really trying to push this week to week kind of stuff, which is good. It's keeping you on top of it, right? So I
Mm.
guess it worked quite well for you guys. Um, how about in the development of the outcome? Let's say like you said you were into the UX UI stuff. Did you help design the project? Sorry, the website. Is that a part of it you were working on?
Yes. So I got inspiration from various websites and actual phone apps. But the group's favorite was actually a website from Eat Sleep Work, ESW,
Repeat
Eat
that.
Sleep
Yeah.
Work.
Yeah.
Yes, so they're a graphic design company, I'm guessing.
Wow.
Um, and their website was so unique and it looked amazing. I would suggest having a look at their like very fun website. It's simple, but it was I don't know. I was actually quite fond of their design, and we got heavily influenced by them. So we definitely referenced them a lot.
Yeah, that's good. I think one good way of improving or creating something is taking inspiration from existing product. I guess that already work. I'm sorry, I have not seen the website. Like, which part of it kind of drew you in? Is it the design? Is it the information? Was it easy to use?
It was actually all of that. But
Mm,
what I enjoyed is that it looked almost nostalgic. How they designed it was very simplistic.
Well, was this your first time kind of project managing and stuff like that? Was this, or have you been doing this before?
For uni,
Well, sorry,
I
yeah,
think
or for work, or yeah, for
I think
experience.
definitely personally, like I am not normally the leader. I normally am a follower in terms of project management and all that. So this was definitely out of my comfort zone, but
Mm,
also becoming the DCT rep, that was pushing me out of my comfort zone, and I normally follow the servant leader kind of
mm,
thing.
mm,
So that's how I run. I definitely am not the type of leader to boss people around, but I make sure that everything gets done and that everyone stays accountable, I guess you could say.
mm. That's pretty good. Uh, I think
Um,
one of the hardest things, especially when I was at uni, is trying to maintain accountability or maintaining output. It honestly got, or it can get pretty bad, the number of team members there are. Because
mm,
I thought, initially when I saw the team, I thought it would be good, to have a lot of people within a single project. But I think there's a diffusion in responsibility, and people just say they're waiting on somebody else. So that's good. I
yeah.
think that's good experience. That's a good experience that you've had. Um, can you talk a little bit more about, I guess, yourself personally, right? Like, what are other things you're working on? Because you said you're kind of doing a lot more on the side, like your personal website and your typography stuff. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
In terms of my personal website, I am I'm trying to look at using Wix and
Mm,
Squarespace,
mm,
but on the side, I'm also trying to practice coding because
mm.
that's one of my weaker, absolutely weaker skills. I am very bad at it, even though I've been doing it since year 12. It doesn't stick. I really struggle with real life like languages and
Mm.
as well as computing languages. Like
Yeah,
even now I struggle with English, which is saying something since I've been learning it since I was a kid.
yeah.
But it's just something that I've been trying, like coding for the website. And in terms of getting more typography and design skills, I've actually been volunteering to help my one of my acquaintances, Fern.
Mm.
She is the one of the co-founders of Clean Play, which is a small business that teaches kids and communities in New Zealand to um, create healthier food, especially for children, and to have less waste. And
Okay.
I've been helping them for almost 2 years in terms of their promotional stuff. So their flyers, sometimes their website, um, posters, and even their
So the
I've
the
forgotten what
graphic
it's
stuff, right?
called.
Like
Yeah,
the graphics and the advertisement stuff. You've been working on that.
I've just been working on that.
Wow.
I also help them with their Instagram too.
Wow. So okay. So social media, an influencer now, I guess.
No,
uh,
no.
what, like a very professional Adobe user now. I mean, that's pretty good. Also send me those links, right? I mean, we can absolutely have those up here in terms of what you've done, because that is a great portfolio or a great thing to show to people what you can do. That's pretty cool. I really like that. I mean, honestly, it took me far too long personally to even try to start working with an industry, or start trying to follow a path to get like a proper job, right? And you
Hmm,
are definitely way ahead of the curve in that, which is something to be commended for. I really think so.
thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Um,
I
yeah,
guess
sorry.
the me now is completely different from the first year me, right?
I think I still I still think that one of our first lecturer, my first lecturer when I was at BCT, that they said that BCT is more of a journey. You become you become a creative technologist from the beginning, and you're on that path and until forever essentially, right?
Mm,
And
mm,
I really like that idea that just because you got a your degree means you've done everything, which is not true. It's
mm.
always something to learn. um can you talk about like your current situations in terms of what do you want to say to the people that this video is going out for? Like, are you interested in partnering with people? Are you interested in opportunity? What are you looking out for?
Personally, I would want to get more. Um, mm, Actually, yes, opportunities because I'm gonna be graduating soon, and I
Mm,
don't really want to work part time when I graduate. I
yeah.
really do want to have a full time experience, and if it means learning on the job, as an intern
Mm,
or um, just working on the side, possibly on a like a short contract
mm,
before moving into the actual industry, like that
yeah.
would be amazing. Like that would be a dream goal, especially since I do want to get into the design industry at some
Mm,
point. Hopefully, like just before I graduate, so
yeah.
that I know where to go.
Yeah, no,
But
that's
yeah.
that's a very valid concern that you can say to people, because this is a very genuine fear that I did find at uni. Where do we go from here? Up
Mm,
until you graduate at uni, I feel like life has been so predestined, right? You go to school, and then you go to uni, and then you graduate, and then what? And I think that is a very valid question that you should be asking. Um, are you open to, let's say, a commission or anything, like in terms of that kind of work? Is that something that you're
yes.
interested in? Yeah. There you
Yes,
go.
absolutely.
Hmm.
I've been trying to set up PayPal actually
Yeah.
and trying to get more followers on Instagram because Instagram I normally just post my like anime cartoonish
Mm, mm.
art style, but that's also where I experiment the most. So even though it is other people would say it's childish, but I think that that's how I it
Mm.
was possibly commissions
Yeah.
or internships or anything like that, especially since I'll be graduating soon, and it would be good to have a space or an opportunity for me to be able to work on the job, um, especially after graduation, would be
Mm,
good.
mm, mm. Um.
Really do apologize about the whole internet
No,
thing.
no, that's okay. Um. Okay, so now you're a bit older. Now you're a role model. You're a role model now. Um. What would be your advice? Sorry, what would be your advice to other people doing the same thing as you, or they want to work on something similar to what you have done or what you're working on? What would you say to them?
Don't say no to yourself. Like, I suffer from self doubt a lot of the times. I get really intimidated, and I haven't even started the project. I always think of the negatives first. And something uh that helped me um to push myself and I guess get the ball rolling
Mm,
was when I sat down with the people who were interested in my pitch and they wanted to work with me. I actually explained it to them. I explained what I wanted and what I didn't want to happen and kind of laid down the ground rules first.
mm,
Especially, and one of the key things that we wanted definitely was high levels of communication for one. Two, that everyone, no matter the role, stays accountable for their own specific jobs because it's because we don't want the project to be a bust after so much hard work,
yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And three, as a team, we wrote down the things that could possibly be the negatives of the idea. So we wrote down the bad things about it or the possible problems that we might go through. But then after that, we wrote the positives.
Mm, mm.
And we had more positives than negatives. And after that conversation, we had more confidence in the project. So that would be, I don't know, it could
Yeah,
help.
I,
I know
I,
that it helped me. So
that's pretty
yeah.
good. Honestly, I've never thought of I feel like I hear all the time, right? Writing it down. I always hear that, but I have actually personally I've never done it. I like your approach in terms of when
Mm,
you were looking at the project, when you were thinking about, is am I gonna fail, or is this gonna venture gonna fail already? That you wrote down the positive and the negatives. I think that is actually a very interesting approach into starting a project, because it gives you an idea what success looks like, what you can get out of it. And I think that is actually pretty powerful in what you were trying to achieve. And I think that's again something to be celebrated about in terms of approaching a project. I think that's pretty cool, honestly, in my opinion.
thank you.
Yeah, no problem. I know we kind of touched on this earlier throughout the call, but where can people find you? Just kind of consolidate it all. Where can people find you?
Uh, in terms of Facebook,
Yeah, or your LinkedIn or your Instagram. Can you just
oh yeah,
shout them out? Yeah,
so
yeah.
I can be found on LinkedIn as Charina Racasag, on Facebook as Charina Uchiha. That's
Mm,
Uchiha. That's because I don't like putting my real last name on my Facebook.
mm,
Um, the Instagram is also at Charbear Arts,
mm.
so that would be an interesting um, and actually a better place to see me because I am trying to get more followers on
Okay,
that too.
okay, okay. Yeah, no. Thank you for coming. I hope this was a great opportunity. I hope you had a awesome time, and
Hmm.
I really do thank you for coming on. I think that what you said is very helpful and very valid.
Thank you for the opportunity.